Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. You're welcome if it's your first time. If you're an old subscriber, welcome back. Today's video is on how to design a turban cap with crinoline and veil net. If you're yet to subscribe, please join the family by clicking on the subscribe button and tap the bell icon. Select the option to receive all notifications so you don't miss out of any of my tutorials right here on this channel. So it will be required that you have a basic knowledge on how to make a turban cap base. I'll put the link of how to make a cap in the description box. So I have the following materials to work with. I have my crinoline. The crinoline is about 6.5 inches wide. Some crinoline have up to 7 inches weight. So this particular one is 6.5 inches wide, and I have about 3 yards and some inches. So this net you're seeing is called veil net. Okay, I have just a little piece. I have this flower rose, and I have my measuring tape, needle and thread, and a pair of scissors. So I'm starting with the crinoline and I'm going to open it up. Like I said earlier, the width of this crinoline is about 6.5 inches. Okay, some crinoline can actually have up to 7 inches. Yes, this particular one is 6.5, and the length is about 3 yards plus some inches. It's not up to 4 yards. Okay, but if you want your own design to be bigger than mine, you can make it up to 4 to 5 yards. When I mean 5 yards, I mean 36 inches by, you multiply 36 inches by 5. Okay, so I'm going to just trim off that rough parts. Then I'm going to bring the ends together. I'll just bring the ends together like this and use my thread to tie it. So I have that end of my crinoline tied, and I have folded the crinoline into two, and I'm going to pick my needle and thread. You can see that the crinoline is folded into two, right? So I'll pick my needle and thread. Make sure you have enough thread. Okay, make sure your thread is long enough to cover up the whole crinoline while stitching. So I'm going to just tie that end to the crinoline very well. I mean the end of my thread. Okay, so that while I'm sewing my loose stitches, it doesn't come off. So I start sewing loose stitches from that point, as you can see, just from that end all the way down. Okay, so now note the kind of distance you want to give your loose stitches. Like for me, I give it about half an inch distance. Okay, and that is what I'm going to be using all the way down. I sew my loose stitches with half an inch distance from that end to the other end. So you can see that I'm sewing my loose stitches like that, just gently and carefully. You need to be very careful because your thread may actually tangle at some point, so you have to just take it easy, just one at a time, or just be careful about it. Okay, so I'll just continue like that till I get to the other end. You can actually drag your crinoline together, okay, while you're sewing the loose stitches, so that it to be easier for you. Can you see the way I'm just dragging them or pulling them together while I was sewing my loose stitches? So I'm going to just continue like that till I get to the end of the crinoline. So I've sewn my loose stitches up to this point. So before I proceed, I just dropped my needle and thread, and I pick another piece of thread. That's a piece of doubled thread, and I'm going to tie that end the same way I did when we started. Okay, so I'll just do that and I'll continue from there. Having done that, I'm going to continue to sew my loose stitches like that to the end, and I pull to gather it up. Okay, so at this point you also need to be careful so that you don't damage your crinoline. Okay, you can see that I'm just taking it, I'm doing it bit by bit. I'm just being careful about it, and I use my left thumb to pull the crinoline together. Okay, just pull it together like that to form what you're seeing. Can you see? I'm just pulling it like that. I just pull it like that till I get to the end. If you want yours to be longer than mine, Okay, you just increase the length of your crinoline like I mentioned earlier. So I'll just keep on pulling like that, okay, and I'll just gather it up and use my needle and thread to secure it through the center. Okay, I just bring them together like this, and you see I bring them together, just making sure that I don't have any space in between. I just pull them together and I'll take my needle through the center and I'm going to tack. I'm just going to press it together. As you can see what it has formed for us. Okay, you can just decide to be creative at this point. You can spread it anyhow you want it, most especially if you're starting with a very long crinoline. Look at another way to make a design with this. Okay, just bring that end together and just bring those ends together and tack anyhow you want it. You can actually form different design, as you can see. Okay, at this point I'm just trying to figure out what would be the best way for me to form something with this. Okay, that's why you can see me trying out different ways to bring this beautiful piece together. At this point I had gotten what I wanted, so I took my needle and thread through the center of the piece to secure it together. Okay, I have my turban cap ready and it's just the regular turban with a V band. Okay, I'm going to put the link on how to make this cap in the description box below, just in case you don't know how to. So I have with me my veil net and it's just a small piece. The length is about 13 inches. I have 13 inches by 11 inches, so I'm just trying to trim off that excess you're seeing there. Yes, it's about 11 inches. Yes, 13 inches by 11 inches. And I decided to reduce the width at this point. I took off about 4 inches from it. Okay, so what I have is about 7 inches. Yes, 7 inches by 13 inches. Okay, I still folded it into two, divided into two. So this is just a little piece we're going to be using for this project. So I just gather one side up, okay, and I use my needle and thread to secure it. Then I place the net under the crinoline and tacked it to it. I decided to add some other embellishments later, like the ab bow design. I made this for my daughter, so I didn't want it to be too heavy on the head. So I've marked where I'm going to be placing my crinoline on the cap, and I will just use my needle and thread to secure it. At this point, you can decide to be creative about it. You can add a lot of accessories, you can add feathers and all that. Okay, so the idea is just to show you how to make this crinoline design. And so if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button and select the option to receive all notifications so you don't miss out on any of our tutorials right here on this channel. Okay, you can follow my Instagram and Facebook at Dolly Crafties for updates. We have online classes on different aspects on turbans, fascinators, scarfinators, and art making in general. So you can reach out to me on the number on the screen right now to participate in any of our classes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all in our next tutorial. Bye.